Hello and welcome to my AACP Annual Meeting 2020 video abstract. My name is Sujit Ramachandran and I am an assistant professor at the University of Mississippi School of Pharmacy. Most of us have heard about increasing rates of prescription stimulant misuse and its sequelae such as overdoses, hospitalizations, and ER visits. Research suggests that the prevalence of prescription stimulant misuse can range anywhere from 5 to 35%. But have you ever wondered how we arrived at these estimates? Most studies directly survey populations of interest and ask them some version of the question on screen. In the past year, have you used prescription stimulants in a way not directed by a physician? Self-reported questionnaires of this nature, referred to as direct survey responses, come with several limitations. Respondents are often reluctant to admit misuse due to privacy concerns associated with illegal and sensitive behaviors, even in anonymous online surveys. While most of these studies ignore these concerns and chalk them up to limitations, we decided that we need to do better. So let me introduce you to a new technique of asking survey questions that was pioneered in 1965 by Stanley Warner called the randomized response technique. In RRT, instead of asking questions directly, the researcher asks two questions at the same time, the sensitive question and a second random non-sensitive question. The respondent then uses a randomization device like a coin or a die to decide which question to answer. For example, heads would mean the respondent would answer the first question and tails would mean they would answer the second question. As long as the outcome of the randomization device is unknown to the researcher, it is not possible to know if the respondent was answering the first or the second question, virtually guaranteeing that the researcher will not know the respondent's true answer to the sensitive question. However, if you administer the RRT to a large enough sample, you can identify the true prevalence of the sensitive behavior at a population level using the simple formula shown here. In this study, we aim to compare prevalence estimates and risk factors of misuse between direct self-report and randomized response technique. We conducted an online survey of 1,200 individuals from a college campus and randomized them into two groups. One group received the DSR question, the other group received an adapted version of RRT called the Crosswise RRT or CRRT. In CRRT, each respondent is shown two questions on one screen, one sensitive question and one non-sensitive question. The sensitive question in our survey was the misuse of prescription stimulants. The non-sensitive question we chose was whether the individual was born in the first 10 days of their birth month. The respondent is asked to compare their answers to these questions and then indicate on screen whether their answers are same to the both questions or if they are different. We then use the same method as described earlier to estimate prevalence of prescription stimulant misuse. We found that the prevalence of misuse in this study was 18.6% in the DSR group, but nearly double at 32.5% in the CRRT group. And these numbers were significantly different from each other. We found that stimulant use was significantly predicted by positive and negative expectancies, religious beliefs, and local norms, but these predictors were not significantly different across the two study groups. The RRT helps improve validity of prevalence estimation by increasing respondent privacy, minimizing evasive and self-protective responses. However, this technique increases analytic burden and requires large sample sizes in order to account for the random noise introduced by CRRT. Finally, this study has a few important implications. The prevalence of prescription stimulant misuse on college campuses may be higher than previously known. The RRT methodology is valuable and has applicability beyond just prescription stimulant misuse, but this also means we may have to revisit prevalence estimates for sensitive behaviors from other studies. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me at this email address.